begun. 1,000 light years from the earthly clay. The crack of thunder leaves the cosmic play.
Welcome to PEBA Weekly. We have something a little bit different this week. I am your host, Michael, and of course, Lenny is here as well.
Hey, everyone.
And this week, we have a special announcement by the Office of the Board of Directors of PEBA.
Yeah, and today we'll be doing something a little different. In episode 1, Mike and I told you that we would not be dropping the fourth wall of the PEBA-verse, and we've had a great time doing that. But every now and then, something special comes up, and we wanted to take this time to use a special announcement kind of teaser before episode, is it 5? Episode 5, right, Mike?
Before episode 5, yep.
Yeah, before episode 5. And take some time to talk about our reality and the real world that we live in, and some of the things that have made PEBA very, very special.
So we have 2 additional members of the board with us today. We have RJ from the Crystal Lake Sand Gnats, and we have Dylan from the Toyama Wind Dancers joining us. So that gives you 3 out of the 4 board members. That's exciting.
Yeah,
It's
so
a first-time thing.
Yeah, let's bring them on right now. They're waiting for us.
All right.
Here we go.
All right, welcome. We are here with our special announcement with our guests. We have RJ from the Crystal Lake Sand Gnats, and we have Dylan from the Toyama Wind Dancers here with Lenny and myself for a very special segment, something a little bit different. But with this regular season just ending, we are looking ahead to obviously the playoffs, but also all of the fun background stuff we have, our award season beginning, and that kind of brings up some very important topics. So Dylan, why don't you tell us a little bit about our first award?
Sure. So for a while now, the GM of the Year award, something we vote on every year in Stats Lab at the end of the year. But it's been since 2032. It was renamed to the Vic Kaleka GM of the Year award. For those of you who don't know, or maybe weren't around or just don't remember, Vic Kaleka was a GM of the Scottish Claymores from 2028 through, I want to say 2032. Unfortunately, he very suddenly passed away. And was very much loved by everyone in the league, was probably one of the best content writers and creative minds in the league, very friendly, was at every live event. But we had renamed the award to sort of represent him and as sort of a thank you for everything he had given to the league. And obviously in a pretty terrible situation. But moving forward, since then, we haven't really used that name much at all, if at all. Both in-game and in Stats Lab. So moving forward, we're going to be updating those platforms. I'm talking with Frank. He's going to be working on some of the more technical items, but we will be renaming that award in-game and outside of game in Stats Lab to help remember him.
Nice.
Excellent. So the official name of the award, Dylan, will be can you give us the entire name of the award?
It is the Vic Kaleka GM of the Year award.
That's excellent.
Yep.
And that's a great tribute. That's an absolutely great tribute.
I would highly recommend that if you hadn't been around or you haven't really dove too much into any of the blogs, go look at the Scottish Claymores blog section on the forums and look at like the vast amount of content that he had created. He was really good at making stories. Like I said, he was very friendly. It's if you have the time, definitely look through it and read some of it. And you can kind of pick up on what kind of character he was and how beneficial it was to have him in the league when he was around.
And I think it's kind of fun looking back on that as Mike and I have started this kind of journey with this podcast and dropping the wall in this episode to kind of look back and see that kind of like what kind of spurred almost kind of that now into podcast land, that kind of creative writing and that idea of creating this universe part of it. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's honestly it's the reason these leagues kind of these story heavy type leagues last so long as they do.
Yeah.
When someone joins the league, they're kind of off put by the amount of writing, the slow sim schedule compared to traditional online leagues, because it's for stuff like this. It's really getting ingrained. It's caring more about your players. It's caring more about your coaches, writing stories about what's going on with your team and around the league. So
yeah, I mean that's how I got in. I was listening to the actual OOTP podcast when Ken was on, and I was driving. It was when I was still doing my old.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I was like, I want to be in that league. And then, the world shut down there for a while. And I was like, I
yeah.
have all this time on my hands. And I looked everything up online, and there it was.
And now
So,
you're famous for throwing bowling balls at a
well, I can.
live.
My
Yeah,
very,
that's that's your calling card, right?
it really is. Every time I
That's how
do,
you'll be remembered.
I mean, and hey, I mean, every time I walk in, if you throw a bowling ball, I can. We're off to a good start. See, that's why
There
we
you go.
play this. That's why we do this. It's awesome. Cool.
I do find it interesting. I mean, so Lenny, that's why you came around. RJ,
Yeah.
you had a podcast in the beginning. We've obviously, I think Scott started because of, I think particularly your and Ken's podcasts. Dylan, you had a podcast with Evan, and now we're all kind of just full circle
Yeah.
on another podcast, and it just kind of keeps going. But yeah, very exciting stuff, and I think that's kind of a good segue into our next award with it, which is a little bit special here, right, RJ?
Yeah. And I guess you guys are gonna have to bear with me a little bit. I usually just like to talk, but I had to write some things down for this one because it's that special. So really, we're here, I think, to announce a new award. And it's kind of just to explain it to everybody, it's a creative contribution award. So there's different ways that we contribute, right? It could be artwork, it could be your writing, your podcast, the different things that we've all done over the years to contribute to the league. And talking this about it with everybody, I think there's only one name I think that would be appropriate to name the award after, and that would be our illustrious commissioner, Michael Topham. It'd be the Michael Topham Award. And I wanted to share with everybody basically, a moment that stuck with me that really kind of encapsulates the meaning that I think Mike has to many of us. So I recently had the opportunity to meet Mike in person for the first time after knowing him for about 10 years now. And we're walking out of the baseball game. Had the Phillies and the San Francisco Giants. We're walking down the street, and he's walking me to my hotel so I can pick my bag up to head to the airport. And there's this kid, 8 years old, has a baseball and glove in his hand, and he's bouncing the ball against a wall as we're walking down the street. And I look over at Mike, and you could just see on his face that he's thinking about his son, Will. And he said it. He's like, Will used to do that when we would go to games together. And so, I think it's memories like that. You think of moments like that. That's really what baseball is about for a lot of us, especially this league. It's about the connection, the memory, the meaning. And there's no one other, I think, other than that it really captures that other than Mike.
Yeah.
I think you see it in his writing over the years, the way he talks about his son, the boy wonder, the way he brings those kind of stories to life, whether it's Crocker or different things or a heartfelt post he has. He writes it because it matters to him, and it's special to him and something that I think connects all of us. I think Mike has been one of the most dedicated people in our league for a long, long time. He shows up, he cares, even before he was the commissioner. I know I've had a lot of late night conversations with him online, back in Slack or, now in Discord. I think a lot of us have had those conversations with him too. If he senses something's off, he's the first person to check in on you. If there's a disagreement, not that we don't have too many of those, right? He can step in, and even if he disagreed with you and he decides against you, you still feel like Mike heard you,
Yeah.
that you matter. And I think that's really what has kept our league together, even when we were kind of maybe teetering when he first took over. So I just want to thank Mike for his leadership. I know everybody else feels the same exact way about him. Our league didn't just survive when he took over as commissioner, it became better. It's something that's thriving and alive because of him. So Mike, this is our way of saying thank you. Thank you for your stories, your leadership, and the way you care about each of us. And we love you.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, Mike.
yeah, that's what I got for him.
Well said. Well said. I mean, I think I know that when I first started, I had no clue what I was getting into. And man, did he help me out in the very beginning and kind of guided me and made sure I didn't do too many stupid things. And then I started doing those by myself. So but yeah, Mike's a good one.
Yep.
He joined right when I did back in the 2011 season, which was like 2009. We were both writing for which team we would get at that point. We didn't know. I think his writing beat out my writing at that time to get Aurora, which was John's team at that time. Um, and he was giving up ownership so he can focus on being the commish. And then I got the New Jersey Hitmen, and obviously we did a lot of different paths. We did artwork oftentimes together and everything like that. I know we probably had our spats occasionally as well, but I was happy to see because I stepped away in after the 2023 season. Happy to see that it was still living and alive and it gave me the opportunity to come back, obviously, because it was something that I did miss. Obviously, I joined a very long time ago, so no, I've been here since Mike day one. I forget at this point who's Mikey number one and who's Mikey number two. Um, we had a Mikey number three at one point as well with Mike Dunn, but um, yeah, no, I think this is well deserved to kind of name the award after him, and I think it's definitely something fun and something that's been missing because I know that we used to have a broader focus on the writing itself and had awards. You talk about meeting the commish, RJ. I know I probably told this story once or twice before, and a couple others have as well. Like when John ran the league, he did the whole writing awards at that point, and I actually got, I forget, after one season, we got like hand delivered the actual like full league's writing at that one point of like the best articles from every single team. And I think Mike kind of continues that kind of mentality of, putting writing first, wanting to focus on the contributions and kind of keeping that league spirit alive. So I definitely appreciate that because it's the whole reason I think a lot of us are here is just that it's more than just your sim every day and kind of look at numbers and move on kind of league. So
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize how close this league sort of was to kind of disappearing.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of people came in after that, so they weren't there for like kind of the rough period. But we mentioned before, kind of we turned the cams on here that there's not a single better person in this league that the commissionership could have fallen to than Mike. He cares by far, I'd argue by far more than anybody else. Like, I mean, there's definitely times where I need to take a weekend off of like the computer and OTP and usually when I get kicked out of the playoffs or something, but like Mike's constantly on it, like with everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, he very much like pulled us out of like the dark ages, and then I think the thing I appreciate most, and I say this obviously as a board member, that he wasn't afraid to like reach out and say, "Hey, I need help doing this stuff. Like I can't put it all. He can't put it all on himself. He needs help with the tech stuff. He needs someone to manage other stuff on the back end. That he wasn't afraid to like reach out and bring other people into his team to really help, keep the league moving and like RJ said, make it better than ever."
Yeah. Delegating and finding, I mean, and talking to three board members at once, I feel honored. But
Lenny, turn off your camera. No, just kidding.
Yeah, funny. I was going to say something nice. Never mind. Mike, maybe you should turn off yours. No, to be able to delegate is a big part of good leadership. And to say I can't, and to bring on good people that care as much as he does. So kudos to the three of you, minus my co-host. So really the two of you for your time and your efforts. And then Mike for being here.
That's what I'm here for.
See, RJ, Dylan, I told you were going to get part of it, no matter how much we drop the wall on this episode.
Well, as we mentioned, it is the end of the regular season. So once again, vote, as we always say.
Mhm.
Vote for the awards. Make sure you vote for every single one of them, especially the new one. And then we got playoffs to get through. And then once that is done, obviously more changes coming on the horizon. So lots to look forward to. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for kind of bringing up the award season here and kind of putting a focus on it, much deserved, with a new award and kind of finalizing the renaming of our GM award. So a lot of fun things. I think there's going to be a good, bright off season ahead of us. So
yeah, thanks guys.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well, that was a fun little segment there.
That's pretty cool, man. Thank you to Dylan and RJ for coming on. And the fun thing to announce on People League is what a cool thing.
Something different. we'll be right back to putting that fourth wall back up,
Yeah.
back in
But
character.
before we do, again, thank you to Mike for his fearless leadership. It's amazing. Thank you, Mike.
Yes, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, RJ.
Yeah.
Helping to keep this ship running. I don't do too much, so don't worry about it.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. But my buddy, I'm not gonna leave you hanging like that.
Fantastic.
All right, what we got to look forward to?
Yeah, so episode 5, since this has obviously pushed things out just a little bit, there will be no power rankings. So we're going to start and jump into the mailbag and the headlines that are there.
No
but the
power
big
rankings.
talk, yeah, it'll be different. It's going to be weird. It's not going to feel
What do I
right,
have to
but
look forward to?
You have looking forward to not talking about the bottom 5. So it's great.
Oh, there he is. That's my buddy.
Right? And then we got the playoffs because we will be in the playoffs. So we'll get to see, obviously.
That you didn't make it.
Oh, God, don't put this out there, man. We will check in on the playoffs, all of them, the PEBA level and the minor leagues that are going. And then the big fun part, we get to check in on our brackets on the PEBA Madness brackets.
Oh, PEBA Madness.
And we'll get to see exactly how we're doing on those as well. So don't worry, still plenty to look forward to, even if the off season is here. Not off season because that's not here. The regular season's over. We're in the playoffs. Just correcting myself on the fly. Don't worry about it. We will get there. There's still plenty of content to be had. Lots to look forward to. So yeah.
I don't know 2 people who can fill an hour better, my man.
Right? Of the random shenanigans.
Yeah. No.
We will find a way.
We will find our way. It may be just to find a light switch in the bathroom, but we're gonna find our way.
Yes. All right, Lenny, did you have a good time?
I did.
Look at that. See, I checked first. Woo.
I know. Thank you, Mike. I'm doing well, feeling stable.
Fantastic. I don't know about that, but
Yeah, well, how I feel is not up to you. What I am, you can have an opinion.
okay. Okay.
All right.
Touche.
My man. All right. I'll see you soon for episode 5.
See you soon. Episode
Bye,
5.
everyone.
Here we go. Bye-bye.